All right, so welcome to Code.org Unit 2, Lesson 1. Unit 2 talks about web development. So this is the very first lesson in web development in Code.org CS Discoveries Lesson 1, Exploring Websites. So the overview of this lesson, it covers the purposes that a website might serve both for the users and the creators. The class explores a handful of most used websites in the United States and discovers how each of those sites is useful for our users and how it might also serve its creators. So our vocab for this lesson is website, pretty generic. A website, the definition of a website is a collection of interlinked web pages on the World Wide Web. So for class today, for this lesson today, we are going to be going through this activity guide on the right side here, or on our screen here. And so if you haven't, either go to Google Classroom and download the Word document for this assignment. Go ahead and save it to your computer so that you can submit the completed copy to either Google Classroom. If you'd like to, you can go ahead and print this activity guide out as well and physically write down the answers. So if your computer has a stylus, this would be a great time to be able to write down in these boxes, because you'll be writing down different things that we talk about today. So we are going to go to, if you're in code.org, what you can do is you can go to Unit 2, Lesson 1, Exploring Websites, and we're on Level 2 right now. So I'm going to drag this over here so that everybody can see this. So on this page, it's just talking about some of the most frequently visited websites in the United States, and each includes a brief description of the website's core function. So today we're talking about just websites in general, why they're used, what makes the most popular websites that people go to, what makes them so successful, and why would you visit those websites in the first place, just to kind of get an idea and an understanding of websites and potential ideas for your personal website, which we'll be making later on in this unit. So today we're going to take a look at some of the most popular ones. So if you look at this page, for example, some of those websites include google.com, which for those of you that don't know, it's a search engine for websites, pictures, videos, and other media. A lot of you have heard of youtube.com. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, you'll see that there. Obviously you know about YouTube then. If you don't, it is a user-submitted video site with ratings and comments. For those of you that are watching this and your parents might be using Facebook, you might have a Facebook page as well. But Facebook.com is widely used. It is a social media community that allows users to share information with friends. If any of you have done any online shopping, you might have used some websites called Amazon, which is an online shopping site for all kinds of goods. Yahoo.com, not as popular as it used to be in the past, but it is still pretty widely used, and like they say here in the description, it's a search engine. It's kind of the next closest competitor to Google is Yahoo.com. It's a search engine. They have Yahoo.com email provider, or an email provider, and they also are a news source, which is probably one of their more prominent uses today, is the news source and the email. Wikipedia.org is a free encyclopedia with content generated by users. A lot of times at the school level, we try to veer away from Wikipedia, or at least we used to in the past, because it is content generated by users, and we want to get away from that. But Wikipedia has done a great job lately of making sure that their professionals are checking that content and making sure that it is credible. So what you're going to do today, so those are some of the more prominent websites that are used. What you're going to do today is we're going to go through this worksheet. So the top websites, you probably visit many websites every week, and each website you visit probably serves a slightly different purpose for you. A website might allow you to connect with friends, play games, find new music, or buy things quickly. Have you ever thought about why those websites were created? So why did the original creators of those websites even make them in the first place? What was the original intention? So you and your partner, or you individually, so you can work with someone nearby you for this assignment if you'd like, But what I'd like you to do is, and each of you will need to fill out your own sheet. Don't do one for your whole group, just do one, or for one for you and your partner. Do one individually. You're going to work together and consider how some of the most visited sites on the internet serve different purposes for the users and creators. So we just went to that website list. So when it says you go to the top websites level on Code Studio, that is this list right here. So if you want to, after I'm done discussing this activity, I'm going to, if you understand the activity, go ahead and pause the YouTube video or the video in general at this site, or go to code.org, go to Unit 2, Stage 1, or Lesson 1, Level 2, Puzzle 2, and then start working through your activity guide. But that'll be your list. So select 3 different types of sites from the list. Try and pick sites that aren't similar to each other. And then for each website, you're going to discuss with your partner what purpose or purposes the site serves for the user and why they visit it. So you pick a website, put the website name here. So if I were to do one, say google.com, okay. Why is it visited? So discussing that with my partner. Cite the service, or the site serves a purpose to the user. What is that purpose? Google is used for many purposes, one of which is to search for information about a certain topic, find images related to that topic, we'll just put and. Okay, that might have been why my partner and I decided that we visit that site. Okay, why visit it? Why would we visit that site? To look up, search for information about a certain topic and find images related to that topic. Then in this next part, we're going to discuss with your partner what purpose or purposes the site serves the creator. Why was it made? Okay, so why was Google made? So for this one, what I'd actually like you to do is go to, and this is going to sound redundant, but go to google.com and search why was Google made. Okay, if you don't know, search it. Okay, why was Google made? I'm searching this on my other screen. If I Google why was Google made, it says Google founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page created Google in order to organize information on the internet and help users find the information they were looking for. Google began primarily as a search engine which crawls through new and old web pages and sorts them based on relevancy to a user's search. Okay, so I might paraphrase that. The Google founders created google.com in order to help users search through information quicker and get better results. Okay, if that's what I decide. Actually, let's do this default spacing here. Is that what this is? Alright, so that's what I might have for my first answer. Now, what I'd like you to do, so in the instructions, so this will tell me whether or not you've actually listened to the whole video or not. What I would like you to do is so you don't use google.com, or if you do, come up with different answers to why you visited it or why it was made with your partner. Okay, and then I want you to pick one more website from that list that is right here. Okay, pick one more from this list, so you'll have 2 from this list. Okay, and then after that I want the third one to be one that's not on that list, one that you come up with on your own, okay? And you and your partner can pick different ones. You don't even have to go with a partner if you wouldn't like, okay? But you are going to come up with that. Third one is going to be not from that list, so that'll tell me whether or not you've watched through the whole video. And then, once you're done with that, come down to the bottom here, okay? This bottom part says personal websites. The websites you've looked at need to meet the needs of many people in order to become one of the top visited websites. But many websites serve a much narrower purpose to a smaller group of users. Consider the following personal website. Website description. So here's our description of our website. Julia wants to become a better home cook, so she started a blog where she can post about the recipes she tries. Each week, Julia attempts a new recipe and adds a page about it to her blog. Sometimes the recipes go really well and her blog readers leave her encouraging comments. Occasionally, her recipe attempts don't go so well, but she still posts and usually gets some helpful advice from her readers. After starting to blog about the meals she makes, Julia has started to cook more often and is attempting dishes that she never would have tried before. What is the purpose? So, unlike the massive websites you looked at before, Julia's website is pretty small. What purposes might Julia's site serve both herself and for her users? Okay, so this is the only part of this activity that I am not going to do for you other than that first one up at the top here. Okay, so for this, I would like you to come up with what you or you and your partner think the purpose of Julia's website is. Okay, what do you think her cooking blog purpose is for? Is it for her? What is it? What does she do for herself? How does it help her? How does it help? Why did she make this website? Okay, and then the purpose for the users. What are the users getting out of this website? What are some things that that they would visit her website for? Okay, so reasons that she created it, up in the top here, reasons that people would come and visit it. Okay, so as soon as you complete both of those, you can save this document either electronically and submit it to Google Classroom, or if you printed it out, hand it in to Mr. Clark. All right, and that is the end of Unit 2, Lesson 1, the purpose of websites.